Hey, I don't remember where we filmed last time and where we stopped, so I'm just going to start back a little bit. Once you have nailed in all the bases, I remember we showed that, nailed the bases of the rafter, you're going to get a piece of 1/2-inch ridge rafter. I'm going to give you that piece, and you need to cut it on the chop saw down to 37.5 inches long. Once you cut it at 37.5 inches, I'm also going to give you a pattern that looks like this, and you're going to cut that out of 1/2-inch material. This is going to go on the end afterwards, and the reason why is because your barge rafter is going to go right here, but oftentimes it's really hard to nail this on because you're nailing into something small. So we're going to put this behind it, and then you have a lot more strength to nail into. Okay. So these, you'll get a pattern from me. I have the pattern, and you'll copy that down, and then that'll get put right there. Alright, so when you nail these on this main ridge rafter, it needs to be straight. And oftentimes, when you nail these, they don't line up correctly, and so you have to force them over to the right place. But we don't know where the right place is. So we take this ridge rafter, lay it down here. We'll pretend this was our ridge rafter. I'm going to lay it down here right where I nailed it in, because I know I nailed it in the right place. And I'm going to get the same overhang on both sides. Once I get the same overhang, then I'm going to mark it. And once it's marked, then I can line it up, and I can move all these rafters over to line exactly up with those. To put this in, I have a lot of students that try and push it down from the top. Remember, when you push it down, those squeeze together. So you're going to slide it from underneath, and then you lift it up, and it slides right up to where it needs to go. But if you try and push it down in, that's the way it's supposed to work. The rafter is supposed to work. So if I push here, it's actually working it, it's pinching it, and so it doesn't want to go down. I have to lift the rafters up to slide that ridge rafter down. So that's why we put it underneath and then lift it up to the right place. Okay, the next part, which is putting your next panel on both ends, right here and on that end, is one of the most critical parts in your whole doghouse. And the reason it's critical is because everybody has a natural eye that says whether something is level or not. And if I move this an 1/8 inch, that much, somebody will walk up and they'll look at my doghouse and they'll say, man, that doesn't look right. Just by an 1/8 inch. And it really hurts me how people want to nail this on really fast. This is one of the most important pieces of your whole doghouse. So you're going to find the center. Once you find the center, you're going to cut a notch out that is 1/2 inch wide to fit around this, and 1.5 inches. We're going to slide up into it 1.5 inches. And once you cut that out, you're going to slide it up into that spot, and then you're going to make this level, and then we'll draw lines down the back side and then cut that out. And it should look like this when you get done. Once you cut those out, you're going to bring it back, and this is where people mostly mess up. They feel, well, I cut it out right, so I'll just bring it back and nail it on. But see, if I just put it back on here, this is up a whole bunch farther than this side. So even if I put this and match it up exactly with this edge, this is still over a little bit. And so what's really important here is what? Lining it up that it's level right here. None of this, all this is going to be hidden. Nobody's going to see up here. This is the most important part down here, that this is level. And on the front of the doghouse, it's even more important because you've got the doorway right there. And if the doorway is at an angle, this needs to be at an angle. And if the doorway is level, this needs to be level. Because everybody's eye will match between the top of the door and the bottom of this. So this has to match the top of the door. When I'm framing old houses and I'm like retrofitting doors, the door, I don't even go in with a level when I'm doing an old house, because the doors have to match the openings. If you walk into an old house, you'll see the header goes this way, and the next door does this angle, and the next window goes this way. So you put the door in to make it look right. You don't make it look level. I mean, you don't level it, you make it look right. So it's the same situation here. It needs to look right. We're not going to go level off the floor for this. It won't match the top of your doorway. When you get this ready to go, you're going to take a nail set and finish setting the rest of these nails right here, so that when you slide this up here, it will sit flush against these boards. And you use the small nail gun, you put 5 nails in on each side and about 10 nails across the bottom or something like that. And that will be our shear strength. And so our rafters won't move after that. That make sense?
Yes, sir.
Once you slide this up and nail it on, then you're going to get these. And you're going to put those on next with a small nail gun as well. The biggest problem I have with these is everybody likes to make it level with the top of this ridge. But that's not where it goes. It actually comes up a little bit higher because it needs to match these rafters right here. So if you take a board, you can slide it up till it touches right there, and then I know it's in the right place. Okay? Too much information maybe?
No. I got it in my head.
Got it in your head. That's it.
Yeah, I do. I know how to go.